Ta-da! And welcome. Okay, so I can't decide if I want to make this a long discussion or a short discussion. So it will probably depend on how everyone kind of feels about how they're doing today and how the check-in is going, which I know it's 4:44. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Ruth. In the afternoon. So it already seems like, man, Sarah, we're doing these in the mornings, right? Well, I did it at 4 o'clock a.m. early on Instagram, which I know is pretty early for most people. But I think that insomnia and overlap, and I assumed, we know what all that does, that people would be waking up later today than usual. So to give everyone that opportunity to be able to join us for today in the discussion, I'm super duper excited. So we're going to do our very best to keep this to like 15-20 minutes. And these are just serious meditative thoughts for how to use the astrology of the day. Also, I am going to have some cards that I pull, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on the particular neurolinguistic programming. So if you're interested in alchemy, you're interested in advanced spirituality, you're interested in kind of how to use astrology, science, and spirituality and melding them together, let's discuss it really quick. Shall we? It's the first day of the year. How is it going for you? It's a Saturday. I thought it was a Sunday. It is so cold here where we needed to run to the grocery store. We needed to run and get all these things done. The vehicles do not start. It's -20, wind chills of -30, -40. The vehicles, even in the garage, even with heaters, it's too cold. So that kind of limits what you are able to do and get done. So that always slows things down a little bit. But other than that, we are getting our cornbread, black-eyed peas, bacon, turkey legs, rice, all the things, comfort food for a cold day. And I want to start with the astrology, guys. So for those in my email list, you'll be getting this here shortly. And I know that for those of you who are not new, every Tuesday, I'm joined with my master astrologer, Matthew Slozier, who is still doing specials. Don't forget if you want a reading. And we talk about the week. We break the week down in a podcast every Tuesday. But what I'm doing just for the daily check-ins on my social media is to say, okay, Saturday, January 1st, the sun is in Capricorn and it's trine Uranus and Taurus. Okay, so what the heck does that mean? When we discussed it on Tuesday, we broke it down. Capricorn is an earth energy. The sun is a fiery center ball of gravity that is kind of influencing us and a desire to do things in an unconventional way. That's the Uranus. Focusing Capricorn and Taurus, earth energy, practical, pragmatic, all parts of the sky, all major planet and huge things in sky constellation, right? It's time and space. Right now that everyone's going to kind of have a general vibe that allows you to step outside of your comfort zone. So that's kind of cool. It's a continued excitement from life changes that you've been thinking of and pursuing and getting excited about. If you're not careful, this is a day because of Uranus. It does things in a weird way, cold, backward, strange. The first of the year, the fact that it's falling on a Saturday, this is, don't get addicted. Some of our intuitive things and discussions that we had on Tuesday, if you want to know more about it, go check it out on the channel, the astrology and alchemy. Don't get addicted. What does that mean? Don't get addicted to the thing, the person, the hobby, the interest, the drug. Don't get addicted to that thing. What is that thing? That is ritual and shadow work suggestions, which we are giving on a daily basis. And there's one other thing that's happening today too. So this isn't just the only astrological thing. So kind of think, okay, advice taken. Thank you, Sarah. But next, as far as ritual goes, think of drug, that word. What drugs are you on? What does that mean? Sugar, caffeine, oxygen, lack thereof, insulin struggles, medication struggles, pharmaceutical, recreational, using, abusing, limits, that the poison is in the dose, that your tolerance comes from concentration. So thinking about those things. Kendra, Mountain Dew. Kathy, I'm a Capricorn. All of us kind of feeling that quietness the last few days, almost like a weird paranoid quietness. Well, a little too quiet. Maybe I should stir shit up. Don't. Gangstas move in silence. Be quiet, hang in there, be patient. Sit, use Capricorn. Adrenaline, drama. What's your drug? Think about what that is. Hold it in a crystal ball and look at it. Sugar. Adrenaline. Power. Control. I'm a Virgo, so the earth energy right now, the need to make things want to pan out the way that I want them to. Expectations. Being aware that I'm there right now and going, okay, Capricorn already wants us to be there. Uranus and Taurus already wants us to be there. That this kind of means as you're lining it all out and where it all falls, that you kind of look at the math of it and you start seeing how the teeter-totter is leaning. And you go, okay. So, Northern Akashic Healer, Sarah. All of this is kind of leaving. You're hearing a beep. It's just my turkey legs and potatoes. They're done. And they're going to sit and just be perfect. When I'm done doing this, they're going to be perfect. I'll pull them out of the oven and put them on rice and it'll be perfect. It'll be healthy. Eating for fuel. Capricorn energy wants investment. It wants finance. It wants security. It wants stability. It wants you to go, oh yeah? Are you sure about that? What do you think you think? What do you know? Discernment, a big part of that. Yeah, King of Coins. Feeling like this is the dictator of all the money, all the things. The father of the household that says, hey, under my house, this is my rules. This is how things are going to go. And you kind of have to be that of yourself and realize where your limits are. Know where your boundaries need to be, who can come in and out of them. Very, very, very important. A lot of yin energy. So if you're into that, a lot of feminine energy, if maybe it falls to you more in that way. A lot of greens, a lot of golds, a lot of power, a lot of investment, a lot of money shifting today. Boy, that's true. Think about what you think that you think you think you think, okay? And then think about it some more. Now, one more thing that is happening today. We're only doing this daily, so it's quick. But the moon, the internal tide, is moving in Capricorn. It's moving into Capricorn as well. So all of those people that have their moon in their birth chart that's in Capricorn, the moon is in Capricorn. So it's going to be a power day for you. And if you're a Capricorn sign, you're going to feel a little extra in some of those traits. This is going to be definite practical approach. Goals, plans, realistic. Emotions, they're moving from an exploring to even more apathy, even more cold and callous, believe it or not. The ritual and suggestion for the moon in Capricorn can be as crazy as keeping your tears like crybaby in a bottle. When women are using, things get crazy in moon rituals. That's blood, that's intuitive, that's tears and sweat, that's feelings, right? Draining, but it's cold. It's ice. So it's like breathing in and out cold air, the void. This is like in our Tuesday, go back and you can kind of listen, talk about how this is like a Spock, AI, data, internet type feeling, even an investment of AI, which ironically, I'll be doing an end of the night news session for No Man's Land later on my Paranormal Sarah channel for YouTube that you guys will see. And I mean, go into the Jedi Blue and you'll see some of the crazy things that are happening for stock and international money things right now in our own Congress and like things that are happening. So kind of crazy to know that that's the astrology. You know, music really does play a big part in my spiritual space and meditating on this. And today was I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, the Matika, and also like Matrix Theory. So, like Club to Death, Rob Dugan, if you're into that more style of music. But the Toy Soldier, step by step, heart to heart, right now, we all bow down like toy soldiers. I wonder what that means for today. I wonder how that intuition is going to pan out. The Ten of Wands, the Ten of Fire. So, kind of the card that's thinking of, okay, a culmination, a resolution. Well, today is New Year's. So, what better transition to talk about what can we do with our resolution? It makes me think of a Beatles song, doesn't it? True or false? If we draw our energy from the universe instead of using our own, we will not get drained. I'm in a debate with a few, so I want your input. If we draw our energy from the universe instead of using our own, we will not get drained. It doesn't necessarily matter where your energy is coming from, depending on your containment of it. It can drain regardless. You can be taking energy from other people. You could be taking energy from the universe. You could be taking energy from those around you, your environment. If you put your walls up and you guard yourself and you are no longer taking in any energy, but you are expending it, and then your vessel absorbs or the environment absorbs any of your residual energy as well, kind of like that sponge does, you will get drained. You could get burned out. I would definitely say drained right now is probably the exhaustion people are feeling. So, and that's because they've isolated and put their walls up because people are going through a lot of life change transformation. And we are also collectively. So people go, whoa, Nelly, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they jerk the reins and everyone stops. And some people go, why are you stopping? And then they turn and everything does one of these. And that's totally okay that that's happening. It's an effect. It's a reminder that we're connected. But like, if we've been able to put our things up, hopefully we were able to step out, watch it happen. People cry about it. We help them fix it. We stand back up and we go back in the way that we need to go and act accordingly. You know, your walls and barriers don't have to always be up. It's about being able to siphon and use and manipulate like a Mario game, and just to know how you use your energy from potential to kinetic, how you work it from earth times water equals air times fire, how you move that equation is going to help you with that. So I seem to attract people that suck the life out of me. Probably because you're a people pleaser, and that's okay. Steve, hi. Sarah, happy new year. Take care, stay safe, and whatever you and your family are doing in this new year, sending much love to you and your family doing okay here in Kansas. My love to Kansas. I think Kansas, I'm not sure if it got it, but I think it was coming from Nebraska, so it may have swooped down. But Missouri woke up to snow this morning. So that's my dad, that's my family out there in Missouri, and I wish you guys well. So if you're on this journey with me and you're listening right now, we just covered the astrology for the morning. And then I wanted to move into, for example, how we're using neurolinguistic programming in alchemy. So for example, resolution. Okay. This is a word that everyone's everyone's saying it right now because it's New Year's, and that's totally cool. Google's 2020, 22, woo! But this term has many different definitions. It could be legal, musical, it could be chemistry, it could be medicine, it could be physics. Resolution. And I want you to think really quickly right now, because your brain has a cognitive structure that is broken down by the linguistics. What does resolution mean? How do you define it? Write it down. Put it in the chat. Think about it. Resolution. It's really important as a mentor, whether it's hypnosis. I think professors as well do a great job in this. Psychology, interrogations, interviewing for legal assessments. You don't want to be suggestive here. I want to encourage you to think about resolution, ways that you use it. Use it in a sentence. And then I always kind of start with, what form of language is it? If it were on School of Rock, would it be an adjective or a noun? Like, what part of the sentence is that even? And you kind of think about, okay, well, that word is this. And Northern and Steve and Barb and people in the chat are sharing it. Everyone having a different answer, a different definition. I love, and you can see the perspectives here. Someone says it's an answer to a problem, a decision to improve your life. It is an outcome. It is fixing the programming language between a scientist and an investigation officer. It's all of those things. And maybe none of those things, depending on the equation you're working and the person you're talking to and the context that it is in. But yet you'll hear it, you'll process it, you'll apply whatever your definition is to that. And it is many things. It is at least 7 things. The original word risolvere, resoluto, Latin, to loosen, to release. Later, English, resolve, Middle English, to loosen, to release, to resolve. Over time, kind of changing into what is now up to 6 different definitions. So technically, we use our Dana Carvey fingers. Resolution means 6 different things. 1, someone said it, a firm decision to do or not do something. But remember, if I tell you not to think of an elephant, oops, suggestion is very powerful. So if you're going to make a resolution, it is best to think about it in a positive way if you want it to be something to manifest. If it's something you want to minimize, think of the equal and opposite to that. Put that into your intention, because that is the synonym for a firm decision, is a decision, an intention, an aim, an aspiration, a design. Think about it. Ooh. Think about it. It's an earth, Capricorn. It's a pragmatic process. It's an intention. It's a beginning. A firm decision that will affect. But it starts here with an aim. But it's here. It's also a formal expression of your opinion, if in a legal situation, like a motion, a proposition, a plan, a verdict, a judgment. Your assumption, even a ruling. We're kind of seeing a stretch here. 2, it's the quality of being determined. Determination, purpose. A lot of people lately have really been struggling with, what's my fucking purpose? What am I doing? What am I doing here? What am I really doing? Should I be doing this? This job? This decision? What are you not doing? The quality of doing it. How good that aim is and your purpose, your intent for doing it. 3, the action of solving a problem, of an issue or contentious matter. the answer to, an ending, a settlement, the peaceful resolution of the disputes. Things are icky here, things are calm here. The action of solving the problem, the answer to it all. And music, if you're a music theory person, if you're my Jake Reed or my Brandon Soderland of the group, the passing of a discord into a concord during the course of a harmony that changes. If you're a cello player that understands that. If you're medicine, if you've been really noticing or dealing with medicine, anatomy, your health, and that kind of way, resolution is the disappearance of inflammation or any other symptom. Ooh, that would be good. A disappearance of? Gone. Poof. No longer there. In chemistry, if you're an engineer, if you're a chemistry major, if you're someone like my sister, you're into like veterinary science, you see things for the bubbly process they are in a laboratory glass beaker. It's the process of actually reducing or separating something into its different components. I love that. That you break it down, you see the process by reduction. In physics, if you're one of my quantum mechanic people, you like my second published book, Quantum Parapsychology with Dave Jacobs. In physics, it's replacing a single force for vector quantity by two or more joint equivalents. That's a whole other complicated process, right? That's for those of us doing really advanced hermetic alchemy or grimoire or time travel, that kind of stuff. The fifth definition is, now listen up here, the smallest interval measurable by a scientific instrument, the degree of detail visible by a photograph, a high resolution monitor, like a pixel, the smallest interval measurable by a scientific, what do I see? What do I see? The resolution and the quality. If it has high resolution, it has good quality. Like the Matrix. And then the last definition, the conversion of something abstract into something with form. The substitution of two short syllables for one long one. I don't know how many people are using that version of it, but it's gradual nonetheless. So it's all a process of coming to that to this. This to this. Can be broken down, but making sure that what you think and what you feel is equal to what you're saying and what you're doing. It's very, 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 very important. So, thinking of that word, resolution. If someone says, man, my resolution is to do this. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? A lot of people are saying and screaming and shouting, not with much resolve, I will add, nor does New Year's Eve look like anything planned or determined. How it is that they're yanking young teenagers out of Applebee's in New York for not being vaccinated, but yet thousands of people unchecked are like drunk in New York Times Square is just not very resolute, if you will ask me. But what you are seeing and hearing may or may not make a lot of sense, and that is not going to weigh out well, and it's going to affect your equation equally. So when people are making a resolution, oh yes, you've said this to me, you're declaring this, or what is it that you're wanting to do? What is it that you're wanting to manifest? Well, what's the purpose of it? What's the intention? Are you measuring it? Right now is Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn, right? We have the sun in Capricorn. We have Uranus in Taurus, which is also an earth sign. So there's a lot of earth energy right now. That's all extremely thinking, overthinking. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Think about what it is. Project, manifest, build. So it's like, okay, today is about cleaning the house. Today is about eating healthy. Today is purging. Today is opening the windows. We can't in this house because it's entirely too cold outside, but trying to get things done, plan. A lot of people this time of year, it is a good time to set your calendar. It's the idea that you're going to be determined and planned. Looking at your equation, looking at the variables like chemistry, trying to make harmony because things are changing right now, and that's very true. Knowing that everyone and everything under the moon and stars, quite literally in our northern hemisphere, is in Capricorn. And so the space is quiet. If you're Christian, you're looking at scriptures that are very much about, well, depending on what Gnostic book you may or may not be reading, this is Revelations to Genesis. This is that wind back to, and in the beginning, there was light. The I am. I am you. All of those things. The oneness, the unity. It's going to kind of come full circle because it's been rocked so deeply in the other direction. So people are kind of going in to think about things right now. And it's going to be kind of cold and quiet. I think a lot of people are asking like, well, when do we really expect this to be a huge uptick on these investments that you're planting, these mustard seeds that you're planting, these things that you're planting? It's probably going to be till about May 10th. I know that seems like a long time, but that's when Jupiter is going to move into Aries. That's when things are going to start to swell, and the actual doing, getting the loan, hearing back from the thing, actually making these huge life changes. For me, it'll be finishing my books and things like that. It's going to be May 10th. So set yourself accordingly. Don't rush things. Now, before I let you go, if you are using this time each day that we'll be doing it, preferably more in the morning, you guys, so that we can actually set our day. But you'll be finding it on all the social media, just kind of like this. And it's to set that goal. Think of your verb. The air is the who, and the fire is the how. So, for example, how this was set up with someone I was working with is your intent. For your resolution, you think, okay, how is it that what is my goal? My goal is to have intention, better intention and purpose. Well, what do these words, really mean for me? What are things that I need more of in that earth space? Things that I want to measure, things that I use silently. How do I know? How do I discern? And then the water ends up moving into, okay, my feelings, verbs and adverbs, adjectives. How is it that you are being affected? It's an influential fluidity, an openness, these certain words, putting it down. And these can be, you put your own words in there. Air, right now, air is your who, it's your space, it's the people in and around you. So kind of knowing that what it is that you may or may not want to improve, or you may or may not want to have better energy for. This is something that you go, oh my gosh, okay, like in this particular case, less arguing, less anger, and more unification, more rejoicing, more happiness. Okay, well, who is it that we know that this is coming from? You kick it back into the goals, you kind of measure them with each other. And then in that fire, how is this going to happen? How is this going to even happen? You need to be able to visualize it. You need to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to build it. So knowing that there's a lot of Capricorn movement, you're not going to get a lot of help. It's a lot of independent, solidarity, selfish, lonely, cold, calloused, apathetic, patient, strong, determined, quiet, calm, peaceful, paranoid energy. Pay attention. Pay attention or pay in pain. Discern. Think about what you think, and then think about what you know. And how is it that there's a difference? This is very, 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 very important right now. Anytime that you find yourself feeling like lately I've been checking my phone a lot thinking about my dad. I'm constantly praying that he's going to be getting the call, that he's going to be getting a kidney, or that there's going to be something going on with something or someone around him because we're waiting for tests or waiting for, things with insurance. We're always waiting for good news or bad news that could greatly affect his life. So I feel attracted to my phone, and yet I don't want to be near my phone. What is the purpose of having that phone near me? It's for this reason. But it also means I'm subject to this. Okay. But I can't gatekeep this and that. So then I have to actually remove people. I have to remove notifications. I have to take my ringer off because it's going to be on me or near my body, and then tell myself, okay, this cannot become a habit. I have to keep it in check. I have to pay attention. How do I do that? And so I've noticed myself filling the air that's rather empty in my equation with happy music, positive information, audible books, reading articles, so that I also have my phone there streaming something that if it beeps and it's slightly interrupted, I know I can check it. But in the meantime, I'm getting positive information. But it's a very different space. It's trying to use it rather than letting it use me. Understanding the influence of the water and then doing a lot of deductive reasoning, but knowing that you can't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't kick a dead horse. Don't get stuck because it needs to be able to move out too. So I want you guys to think about that. And I hope that if you are writing this down, if you are using this in your space, if you are using the astrology or the alchemy or the guidance or the scripture or the music suggestions, let me know how those things are popping up for you, what spirit guides you are seeing, what frequencies and emotions you are feeling as things are heavy in Capricorn right now. It's something to kind of put in that journal space of like, okay, what does astrology mean for me and how does it even affect me? It starts with just everyday awareness of what it is that you think. Currently, right now, there's a whole lot of energy in our thoughts and that are silent. Nature is silent. The kind of quietness, what does that mean? What is stirring? What is hibernating? What is kind of queuing up and what is composting and recycling itself? Because some things are biodegrading and some things are charging up. So kind of, again, that discernment. It's really important. And for our own bodies too. So let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts and join me on my journal because I post this also on my blog at paranormalsarah.com. So all your thoughts and additional conversation can go on there. And then today, later this afternoon, when I figure out my fight with Facebook, I'm going to be putting my Gypsy Tribe live instead of private for this week. Or not for this week, for this year. So for the whole year. So be sure and join me there if you want kind of additional links and things to scripture and different pictures and files and discussions that we have there on the Facebook group for the Gypsy Tribe. But otherwise, guys, if you're wondering where to find me, if you're wondering when we do this every day, there's not a particular time. You just need to sign up for those notifications. And these are preferably in the morning. I do work full time. I'm also a mom and a wife, and I cook and I clean. I'm getting ready to go put turkey legs on some rice right now. And things are happening. But I want you to be using this energy and information like I do. And I want to grow with each other. And I want to be able to advance the questions and thoughts for those people that are always asking. And I'm always like, I do talk about this and it's just kind of wild and random and it may or may not have makeup attached to it, but we're going to get it done. And I hope that you'll join us on the journey. So you'll learn more about that at paranormalsarah.com. Go there now, check it out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe even tonight. If you are interested in political talk, we're going to be doing late night jibber jabber on No Man's Land. So on the Paranormal channel and on Paranormal Sarah's YouTube channel, it's there. Let's pray I don't get banned. I will keep myself, I will behave. I will behave. Join me there if you're interested in fun news. And if you have any news you would like for me to discuss, it is kind of later in the evening for that reason. Send me your thoughts and articles that you would like to have brought up on a public forum, and I'll do my best to discuss them. A lot of forensic psychology things and news that comes my way are things that I cover. So If there's not anything crazy going on, which there always is, then you'll be getting forensic news and things like that. But join me there tonight if you'd like, or if you want more psychic predictions, tomorrow on Sunday Night Dead, we are doing predictions. So you'll see that on Astrology and Alchemy as well. But thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow or tonight, everywhere, anywhere. Maybe I'll see you later. Until then, thanks for joining.